Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're doing awesome. I'm doing well myself, and today we've got a PSA grade reveal. We're not ripping any packs today. We've got 35 cards that got sent to PSA through two different services. 33 cards went through the most economical option, so it's usually a promo they're running in a given month with a maximum declare value of $500, and 2 cards went in with the regular service with a maximum declare value of, I think it was like $1,500. So anyway, I have some findings, some thoughts in terms of like PSA submissions that I'll share at the end, and yeah, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. I will say before I start that I knew this one would be these results would be a little bit not as great as my last submission, which I think it was like an 87% gem rate. I knew I couldn't match up to that, so I sent in some risky cards to take the pressure off myself of beating that 87%, and I logged sort of what the flaws were in the cards, and there really was no point in doing that because some of the cards that I thought would do excellent didn't do so well. Some of the cards that did have flaws, they either did excellent or got dinged, so it's hard to predict. Maybe I need to run this test again, but let's go ahead and jump into it. So first up, we've got a Donruss Optic CJ Stroud. This looks like a My House, and it's going to be a holo, I'm pretty sure. And I was concerned about this one. I don't know if I can show it. Yeah, it looks... I thought there was like a sort of a tiny, like a... You ever see on the back of cards like little pinhole-sized holes? Not holes, but divots, I guess. Well, this one had one of those, and I was afraid that it would not do so well, but it in fact did get a PSA 10. As with my other PSA reveal video, I'll put up the dollar value of what I think it'll go for, in addition to a gem rate sort of tracker right here. It's the gem rate isn't that great on this one though. So next up, we have a Jackson Holiday. This is I believe this was the Topps Chrome update, or let's just take a look. So the Jackson Holiday, it was a gold out of 50, and it got a mint 9. I was actually this is one of the cards that I was very hopeful about. And the gem rate, I believe, for this exact card, I think it's pretty good. I'm not exactly sure why this one got a 9, but it did. And I don't know. I don't think I'm sold on resubmitting it, but I do have some questions that'll never be answered probably. So next up, it's 2024 Mosaic. This one is kaleidoscopic. I saw that some people were calling the kaleidoscopic a case hit out of Mosaic, so I just went ahead and sent it in. Roma Dunze, I'm not particularly high on his future, but it got a 9. This was another card that I thought would do pretty great, and it didn't do great at all. It's a great looking card though, I'll give it that. Next up, we've got a 2023 Select Courtside Brandon Miller out of 99, which should be a Blue Flash or Blue Shock situation. I forget what they called it for Select. Blue Flash, PSA 10. It's a nice little gem there. I know that his market is pretty depressed compared to Wemby's, and obviously Wemby's cards have been going down since he went down with the injury, but I do think that Miller has pretty high upside, and he just gets disrespected because he gets overshadowed by Wemby. This one is a Donruss Optic Football 2023, and this should be a holo, I believe. It is, and the grade is a gem mint 10. It's crazy. When I had another one of these, and I sent it in months ago under the higher tier service, not the budget one. But now I think this one, the gem mint 10, I think it goes for a little over $100, whereas before it was going for like, you know, like $600-700. So next up, it's 2023 Mosaic Basketball. The man, Victor Wembanyama. This should just be a silver Mosaic. It is, and it is a beautiful gem mint 10. Next up, another Mosaic, another Wemby. This one I believe is, okay, this one is a silver, and it's a PSA 9 NBA debut. I imagine I would be surprised if I could break even on this one. And as I'm looking at this in the light, and some of the other cards, I couldn't see what the flaws were, but I see right away the edge there is not the greatest. So PSA 9. Next up, Podzimski. I sent this one in because it's such a low numbered card, and I could swear that mark right there, that's clearly on the card. I could swear that was not on the card when I sent it in. This is one of the cards that I expected to gem, and it did not. It's a Blue Disco, 19 out of 25, and it's a PSA 9. So as you can see here, with the 2 stacks, in the last PSA grade reveal I did, the 10 was just going off the screen, and I had to set up different piles for it, but this one, it's pretty much 50-50. Let's go with, let's equalize this one a little bit. Let's go with the Die Cut Select. This is a Premier CJ Stroud Silver PSA 10. Pretty happy with this one. For obvious reasons, but also because it's a die cut, and die cuts are notoriously hard to grade at a mint 10. As you can see here, there's a little dimple right there, but They overlooked it. So that's nice. There must be some sort of threshold for acceptance. And like I said, the die cut, very hard to gem. We got it. I'm going to save this one. This Jaden Daniels out of 5 right here. I'm going to save that one. It's a Panini instant, but it's still out of 5. Paul Skeens. This one, let's just take a look. It's a Chrome update. Paul Skeens, Prism Refractor, PSA 10. Definitely happy with any Paul Skeens, PSA 10s. Let's go with another Paul Skeens. This one should be the Sapphire. It is, and it is a Gem Mint 10. Great looking card. Another Donruss Optic Wemby. Hyper Pink, and it's a PSA 10. LeBron James 2023 Prism Monopoly. I only got this one graded because it's LeBron. It's not advised. I think even a 10 goes for like, I don't know, tens of dollars. So this one was definitely risky. It got a 9. I would be surprised if I could break even on that one. This one, I don't know why I sent this in. It was a few months ago, right? And I think I was like, maybe Anthony Black will show us something. This is a Red Velocity out of 299, and it got a PSA 9. It's a great looking card. The colors are kind of odd. This would have been better if it was a piston, like an Asar Thompson. But it's an Anthony Black. It's a PSA 9. I will most definitely lose money on that one. In fact, I think I'll probably put the estimate on this one as $0. So a total loss of the grading fee and the shipping and all that. But it is what it is. You got to gamble a little bit to win. 2023 Donruss Optic once again. Jaden Reed out of 32. This one's going to be the NFL Shield. Look at that. It's a Gem Mint 10. But look at that. That is a crazy looking card. And it's low numbered. I love Jaden Reed. I'm not exactly a Packers fan per se, but I do love watching their games sometimes. And he's done well for me on props. So yeah. Wemby. No prism, so this is just going to be a base mezzanine. I believe I sent this in because this one's the Chrome. Yep. PSA 10 on the Wemby. Not the craziest card, and I do have the elephant version of that, so I do have a soft spot for the mezzanine level, and Wemby's were still selling at the time. I don't know what they're doing now, but I'd be surprised if I can break even on that one. 2024 Topps Brooklyn Collection Sandy Koufax out of 50, PSA 9. This being a thick card, obviously a huge risk to take. I took it, didn't go so well, but I would do it again. It's Sandy Koufax. Brooklyn Collection, not the easiest on the eyes, but there you go, PSA 9. Unfortunate, but we'll live to see another day. Let me cut this, actually, let's just get to the Jaden out of 5 here. Jaden 2 of 5, Panini Instant. This one they released to commemorate his first game. It got a PSA 10. Daniels Dazzles with 2 touchdowns in debut. This is the White Tiger Parallel out of 5, like I said. I think this is a great card. It's a Panini Instant, sure, and it's not exactly made to order, but it's not like you got to rip a pack to get it. You can just order it online. It's just about how fast you can do it. And yeah, I'm proud of this one. I'm happy with this one. I like the way it looks. I like what it symbolizes in terms of his first game, his first win with the 2 touchdowns. I think this will go up over time. All right, next up, 2023 Donruss Optic, CJ Stroud once again. It's a blue hyper. It's a Gem Mint. 2023 Donruss Optic was a pretty good product for me, not just from this video, but just in general. All right, this went in with the regular service. If you know, you know, and if you don't, this is a downtown. Downtown for Donruss, since Donruss Optic isn't out yet. Drake May. Look at that. Beautiful card. Unfortunately, it got an 8. An 8. I was shocked. I might try to send this one back in. These marks you're seeing, it's on the case. It's not on the card. I sent it in pristine. The centering on the back, not the greatest, sure, but it also doesn't count as much. Now, they did change their guidelines, PSA did. They used to allow a 60-40, but now they require 55-45 in terms of the centering. So it makes it harder to get Gem Mint. But an 8? 8 is kind of ridiculous. And on Reddit and any other forum, they call PSA, please submit again. And that's what I might do with this one. I might have to submit this one again. At a PSA 8, I was looking at it. It could have changed. You'll see the latest number on the screen there. But last time I checked, it was like 600 for the PSA 8. PSA 10 should be around like 1400. I'm probably going to send that one back in. All right, Jaden Daniels, once again, this is Prism. This is a variation as indicated with this V here. And this one's going to be a 9. This one was also sent in with the regular service, because out of 10, it would be a pretty good chunk of change. But unfortunately, we got a PSA 9. All right, Scooter Henderson out of 130. Donruss Optic. This one got an 8 as well. Rough times. Rough times. Now, obviously, with the downtown PSA 8, I can still extract some value out of it, but this red seismic, Scoot Henderson, even if it's color match, at this point in time, I would venture to guess that this is probably worth not much, if anything at all. Next up, Derek Lively, Select, out of 99. This one is a light blue disco, and it got a PSA 9. On top of PSA sort of tightening their parameters for Gem Mint, they seem to be grading a little bit harder in general. But this is a die cut black and green Prism Premier level CJ Stroud PSA 10, another die cut 10. That's a win. Alrighty. This is 2024 premium stock. So it's hoops, but more of a premium stock, chrome finish and all that. It's out of 120. It's going to be a blue Prism, Rising Stars, PSA 10. Can't complain about that. Can't complain about any Wemby parallels that come back a PSA 10. Another premium stock. This one's out of 99. This is probably one of my favorite cards out of this entire submission, even if it's not going to be the most valuable card. And this is a 10 as well. Next up, another downtown. This one's a Dick Butkus, and it's gonna get an 8. I don't know what it is about the 2024 Donruss football downtowns, but I guess they must have some sort of surface flaw that I missed. I will also say that for Prism football, 2024 Prism football, and this might also be the case for 2024 Prism basketball. I haven't seen many submissions yet, so I can't say. But the Prism football has a huge problem. Last I checked, their gem rate for the entire set, for the entire 2024 Prism football set, is 25%, which is atrocious. It should be closer to 40 to 50%. It's at 25%. There are some cards, some Jaden Daniels cards, that are gemming at like a 10% rate, which is terrible. So they definitely messed up the manufacturing process on that one. Anyway, moving right along, we've got a 2024 Donruss football, Jaden Daniels, the rookies. This one's just a base, but I think it looks pretty great. So I went ahead and sent it in, and it's going to be a Gem Mint 10. Thank goodness too, because we need some 10s to balance out this nastiness going on over here. Another Donruss, another Jaden. This one's going to be the retro 1994, and this one's a PSA 9. I knew this one would be difficult to grade. These paper stock cards, I'm telling you, they're rough. Now, I don't see anything wrong with this, but got a PSA 9. Another downtown. Can we break the streak of 8s? Yes, but it's a 9. So this is 2023 Donruss Optic Cooper Cup Super Bowl downtown, PSA 9. I'm not sure what's wrong with this one. These cards were gemming pretty well last year. They seem to have tightened things up of recent. So, 2024 Prism Football, Jaden Daniels, Fireworks. This one should be a silver. It is a silver, and it's a Gem Mint 10. It's a great looking card, but I'll probably look to move that one as soon as possible. I'm not really looking to collect the Fireworks insert. 2024 Prism Football, Variation. And it's a PSA 9. Like I said, 2024 Prism Football, very tough to grade. First, you got to worry about the centering between this bar, this chrome bar here, this chrome bar here, this bar here versus this bar here. There's a lot going on, and you really have to make sure it's perfect this time. I don't know why they're grading so hard, but it is what it is. So if you're looking to purchase singles just to grade them, if it's Prism Football, maybe steer clear of it. 2024 Mosaic once again, Wemby once again, Blue Reactive. This one's gonna be a 9. We're at almost 50-50 at this point. I would guess. JJ McCarthy, Variation, 2024 Prism Football. What do you know? It's a PSA 9. I have yet to get a 10 of any Prism Football for 2024. Next up, and last but not least, this one is a 2024 Topps Composite. Once again, that's 2024 Topps Composite. So why would you get this graded? Well, it was a 25 out of 25 bookend, and it looks great, but unfortunately, it is a PSA 9. So like I mentioned, a very tough one. In fact, the gem rate for this video is going to be less than 50%, which is unfortunate, but sometimes that's the way it is, and sometimes that's the way it's designed. I expected this one to be a bit more tough in terms of gem rate than my previous submissions, but I honestly didn't think that it'd be this bad. I thought it would be something more along the lines of maybe this, but not this, where it's pretty much less than 50-50, less than 50% gem rate. So, some of my findings. Number one, if you're getting 2024 Prizm football cards to grade, if you're buying singles to grade, this may not be the best year. If you're okay with PSA 9s, because some Jaden Daniels, some rookie quarterbacks at PSA 9 in the silver parallel are still doing pretty well at PSA 9. But if you're shooting for 10s, if that's what you're banking on, maybe look elsewhere. Maybe wait or something, because it's tough out there. Number two is, if you're thinking about submitting your first PSA submission, know this. It has to be perfect. If you see any single flaw there, you're rolling the dice. And when you roll the dice, when you put, this one wasn't that large of a submission, but if you're submitting 70 cards and you're gambling on 20 of them, that's, upwards of $400 right there, because this month's special is $19.99. So that's like $400 that you're gambling on cards that are not perfect. And, sometimes you're still going to get screwed over even though you send in perfect cards, but you don't want to make it easy for them to just take your money. So definitely be careful of that, and not all your cards deserve to be sent in unless you're willing to take that risk. So understand that you're taking a risk. Last but not least, here's a big tip. If you create a submission for the budget service, let's say this is the budget service cards, and you have some that'll be a little bit more expedited, so you have another submission that's like regular or express or anything like that. Now, I can't say that your budget submission is going to arrive at the same time as your more expensive submissions, because at the higher tiers, they have lower turnarounds, right? So they might have a 20-day turnaround, or a 10-day turnaround, or a 5-day turnaround. If you submit in one package two or more submissions, your budget entry is going to be a little bit faster. I got the budget service level back in about a month and a couple of weeks, when it should take 50 business days, and then I got the regular service cards, the 2 cards, right on time. So I think it was around like 10 days. So it's not going to make your budget service as fast as 10 days, but it's going to get turned around a lot faster than it should. So that's my last tip, and I'll put it should have all gone up on the screen there. But I'll make a dedicated PSA submission video where I show like how I prepare the cards for submission, how I protect them, how I put them in boxes, and things like that, because I know that was asked for in my previous PSA video. I just never got around to it. I got around to this before I got to that, but it's in the making, so it's gonna come soon. Alright, so as promised, before I close this video out, let's run some PSA numbers. So, as mentioned, 2 cards were submitted at the regular rate for $74.99 per card, with $34.99 return shipping. That comes down to $184.97. And 33 cards were sent in at the cheapest December promo, which was $16.99 a card, with $50.45 return shipping. That comes down to $611.12. So putting all that together, it cost $7.96 to grade, and just in case you're curious, that comes down to $22.75 per card. So throughout the video, we calculated my estimated value for the cards, or the slabs rather, which is usually an average of the latest sales if they're available, and I estimate that it's going to sell for around $4,925. So if we deduct the PSA grading costs, we're at about $4,128.91. That's not factoring in the cost to rip the boxes, because none of these cards were bought as singles. They all came in boxes. So the reality of it is I probably will be breaking even, but I won't be making a windfall or anything like that. If you're trying to make money in this hobby, definitely don't get boxes to rip. So yeah, not the most exciting PSA grade reveal in that I didn't knock it out of the park, but hopefully this was entertaining to you. I've got 2 more submissions cooking at PSA right now, so I'll have more of these videos coming up, and as I said, a sort of like a tutorial video as well, and a whole suite of tutorial videos actually. So anyway, those are coming up, so definitely, if you haven't already, consider subscribing so you don't miss out, and yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. So yeah, thanks again so much for watching this one. I appreciate you.